All right, guys. Well, listen, I got to get away from my sorrows over Tommy Fleetwood to welcome onto the show a friend of mine, an internet celebrity, probably, to me, in my opinion, one of the most well-known caddies on all of Instagram and TikTok and you name it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the one and only Mr. Gerry Carry.
Hey, look at that. I'm even clapping for myself. I'll clap.
Dude, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. Always doing good. Just got back from 7.5-week trek, just having fun, man.
7.5 weeks. That's, I mean, at this point, you're like on tour, like Aerosmith or something like that. I don't know.
I feel like Aerosmith. I got the hair. I'm wondering, I got to get a guitar in my hands one day. I think it'd be fun, right?
You know what? Golf clubs over one shoulder, the guitar over the other. I could get used to that lifestyle.
That would be the dream world. Yeah. The dream world, man.
Well,
yeah, for sure.
Obviously, I think, when I scroll the internet and I hear this voice of yours approaching some stranger, somebody in a parking lot, you approaching them about caddying for them, I know that whatever's coming next is going to be fun and interesting. And I just think it's so cool, this sort of space you've created, this sort of thing. And it didn't exist before, and anybody else who tries it is just not comparing. So, dude, how did you get there? I mean, how did you create this Gerry Carry sort of cult following thing? How do you do that?
This is where it gets fun. It's unreal. 2 years ago in August, I retired. And so the love of the game, used to caddy when I was young. But my daughter runs a pretty big social media platform, and she says, "Dad, you got to do a video, man. You're the character. You got to do a video." And I went, "Well, what am I?" I had no idea what TikTok, Instagram, zero idea what it was all about. And so we came up with an idea, and I came up with this character, Gerry Carry. I'm going to go. I says, "Well, there's enough guys hitting golf balls, and nobody wants to watch my swing. Why don't I just do what I used to do and caddy and go have some fun with it?" So I came up with the name Gerry Carry, and I don't know how I did it, but I did. And well, just so everybody knows, it's Gerry carrying the golf bag, obviously. And it's just a fun thing, man. So now, from that day, I did a video, and they launched it, and I was on the golf course, and I had no idea. I think I just got Instagram then, or TikTok, and they phoned me, and I'm on the golf course, and they had launched it like 9 hours previous to that. And she says, "Dad, it's going crazy. You got like 1.2 million views in like 11 hours." And I go, "Is that good?" I had no idea. Zero idea, guys. Zero. And of course, take it from there. And, since that day, it's been a trek. 2 years this August, and 9 countries. Last year, I was home for a total of about 40 days. This year I've been home for 16 days. And what is it? July, something. So, I'm all over the place. And I think that's part of it. It's just the fun part of, I think a lot of the fans like to see where I'm going.
Yeah.
They kind of live their dream. The guy that can't get away, maybe he sees me at Oakmont, maybe he sees me at Royal Portrush, maybe he sees me at Troon, So, I mean, I think that's what it is. I think that's the attraction.
Well, so you're making this first video, or your daughter brilliantly suggests you to go give this thing a try. So you go out. I mean, golf takes a while. There's a lot going on. How do you know how to put that all together? Did she help you edit? Did you know how? Did you kind of figure it out? Like, how do you assemble a video?
I knew zero. Dan, I knew nothing about the internet, social media, zero. They run a pretty big deal in what they do. My daughter, I'm so proud of what she's done. And I'm basically was a kind of a case study from One Peak Creative. They run a fairly large company that can take people and go, "Hey, look, do this, do that, and this will work." So I'm actually shooting a video about that this week. I'm actually going to be in a big presentation that they're doing for major companies and stuff to launch how they can get the presence. So they have a system that works, and I worked my butt off to get it. When we shot that thing, it was totally natural. It was just be myself, go out there, talk golf, caddy a hole, and it worked.
Wow.
And whenever I do a video now, it's just that's the way it is. It's people that stage and try and make that perfect shot. I'll be walking down the fairway, Dan, like walking down, and half the time I don't even got the player. I'm holding that in my hand as I'm carrying the bag.
Yeah.
It's not everything I shoot's on an iPhone. Everything.
No camera
So
crew, no sound guys with like the boom pole.
I have never had a mic on in my life.
Wow.
Other than when you put a mic on me one time. Where were we? I think you put a mic on me.
What was that? PGA Championship, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, anyways, and I walk with this thing, and so sometimes people aren't even in the camera. I mean, they're not even in and it's just organic.
Yeah.
And that's what people want to see. They want to see the real blue collar golfer. They want to see the high end golfer. They want to see juniors. I do a lot of junior stuff because I think the kids, the new game's crazy. I was with a 14-year-old a couple months ago, and we took on, and the video's coming out on YouTube. My first YouTube is me and a 14-year-old took on Brian Urlacher.
Oh, come on.
18-hole event at Seville Club in Phoenix. And so, it's fun for me. I get to meet Urlacher. He's a cool dude, man. He's one of the coolest dudes on the planet, man. That guy's crazy.
He seems so cool. I mean, I met him really briefly, but I haven't got to golf with him and film with him and everything. And he seems so fun.
He's got a good sense of humor. And so anyways, the young juniors now. So I'm going to start a track of taking young juniors against athletes.
Yeah.
And that's where, these juniors today, this 14-year-old Maverick McDonough, hitting it on a rope, 260 to 280, he's 14 years old, 113 pounds.
It's my left leg.
He's with TaylorMade. I mean, I'm going, this kid's got more credentials than most PGA Tour players here. So anyways, just fun. And it was I can't tell you the outcome because it's going to be cool when it comes out. But the funny thing about that day is I'm sitting with Brian Urlacher on a bench, because I got my caddy bib on. I'm sitting there and we're waiting for a group that's ahead of us because it was a group. We had about 150, 200 fans watching us because we invited people out. And I look down at Brian and we're sitting there. I look down at his calves and I look up at him and I go, Brian, okay, I'm 5'3.5", 4. Okay. I says, my calves are actually bigger than yours. And you're a Hall of Fame NFL star, man. Like where'd you get those twigs? So the banter started. There was a great day.
Did he fold you up into a ball and throw you into the pond?
I think he did. Actually, I'm still reaping that. I was waiting to get thrown in the pond like that guy. Remember that guy that got thrown in the pond?
Yeah. Wasn't it like some pro wrestler? Like it was all set up, but he like tossed somebody or something.
He threw that guy in the pond. I would have been airmailed into the pond at Seville. It would have been epic.
So videos start moving, you're getting the views, stuff starts happening. One of the things I notice in your channels is you work with cool brands, some new, some established, some big names, some, all sorts. How does that start coming in? Do your DMs start blowing up? Do you start making phone calls? Like, how does all that come together from I post a video, I'm getting views, I start doing this, how do you get there?
Oh, yeah. It's funny. It's funny you ask that because in about day 12, I got a call from a sunglass company and I went, oh my God, like they want me to wear their sunglasses? Like what is it? So I asked my daughter, I says, like, is this actually going to start happening? People are going to goes, Dad, it's going to start happening. They're coming, okay. The horses are coming down they're out of the gate and they're searching you down. 3 weeks later, I sign on. I got an agent, full-time agent. Great guy. Viral Nation. I can't say nothing better about it. What a great crew of people. They sell me in the market out there and we work together. But my deal is that with Viral Nation, hey, look, you guys bring me what you get. You're my agency. And I love the guys, love the whole team there, but I get to be what I used to do. I've always been in that world. And I just left that open that I could start dealing with brands and getting, so I'm constantly on the phones and people phone me and then I make deals and I negotiate. I think I'm a great negotiator. I think in anything in life is a negotiation. You made a negotiation when I turned left, that's a negotiation in your head. So
plus, I don't know how anybody could say no to you. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Like you got that working for you.
They do, it's got to work for the brand.
Yeah.
And so I've got to like the product. You will never see me put something on there I don't like. I'm not in that position that I would need something that bad to do that. believe in that. I believe in that if you're going to go to work, social media golf is one of the hardest jobs on the planet, believe it or not. Everybody thinks it's roses and here and free golf and go. It is tough, man. You're constantly, I'm 300 messages a day, and I try to go through just about every message. I'm dealing with brands. I'm up at 6 in the morning, so I get the good light to go shoot at a golf course. I'm out till 10:30 at night because I'm getting off the golf course as it's late. There's nothing worse than shooting a golf course midday.
Yeah.
So all these kind of things that we have to bring into factors, like days, weeks will go by. I don't even know what day it is. And a lot of social media guys and people think it's going to rain money on their heads. Hey, man, you got to work hard
Yeah.
at this game, just like what you guys do. You work hard. I mean, you're on the road a lot. You know what it's like. It's not easy, right? So it's fun, but it's not easy.
Well, which is exactly how, you and I have met, is because we're at so many of the same things that it's like just by osmosis that, whether it's PGA show, Masters, PGA Championship, whatever it is.
Masters.
It's yeah.
And to me, Dan, you know what? That brings relationships. And I'll get into that because I think relationships in anything that you do, doesn't matter if you're in social media or if you're in making widgets. You got to have relationships and trust people that you want to be in. Surround yourself around the people you want to be around. The brands I deal with, I love my brands, and I could just name brands here that have really helped me get to where I'm at right now. And I'll always never forget that.
Yeah.
That is something that I always do. And I love the small brands because, I don't move the window for a big brand. I can't watch that needle move.
Sure.
But if I'm with a smaller brand and I go, wow, I actually sold them X amount of this. Really? Wow, man. And he's happy. So that's the cool part of it, right? I mean, I think that's what's really missed in the world now is the relationship. And, it's not always about the money. You can have all the money. I've met through this trek some of the coolest, richest, funnest, poorest golfers, guys hitting it with stuff they bought at Goodwill. Hey, those are the best golfers, man. That guy's got a Goodwill thing. He went and hunted down that little wedge that cost him $6. He's happy and he hits it good.
Yeah.
So, hey, golf is a game of what you can afford and what you can afford to play. And, if I get a lot of my social media people that reach out and say, Gerry, what clubs are the best? Well, caddies I've seen guys shoot 68. I've been on the bag. People shoot 66, 68 with 10, 15-year-old clubs. I mean, then you get a guy that's got all the brand new stuff and away he goes and he comes in with 104.
Well, it's
so
so
it's not
true.
always.
I mean, you even look back, even in history, and like look at, videos of like old majors and things like that, where it's like, you realize how well these guys are playing with clubs that would be, at the old Play It Again used sports store now for, $20. And what these guys could do with them, it's like, it's great to have the latest technology and game improvement, this or that, but it's not that those other clubs can't do it. I mean, turn on any old rerun of something. I mean, obviously, look at Tiger Woods' prime. I mean, at the one point he was using that square Nike driver that some have said is
yeah. I think it was cool. It was called wasn't it called the Sasquatch?
Yeah.
No, that was something like that.
No, you're 100% right.
Yeah. And so, and nowadays someone would be like, oh, I can't hit this thing. It's garbage. It's like, well, it's not the club's fault necessarily.
It would be fun to have Gerry come to COG and meet Emery, the kid that won the drive, chip, and putt at the Masters, because you're working with juniors, and he's just like a phenomenal golfer. And they do the Under Armour Junior Tour there. And I play with my buddy Axel, and he's actually just won his first junior tournament. And literally the kid's like 72 shooting, and he's 14, and he's like 110 pounds, just like you said with your buddy.
Yeah.
And they're phenomenal golfers, and the etiquette they got is just really fun. Etiquette. And except Emery's kind of funny. He'll hit a ball. He'll be like, I'm so good at this game. And I'm like, you are, Emery, and I love you for it.
Confidence is good.
Hey, well, that's so cool. It's funny you say the Under Armour Junior Tour. I usually wear the shirt. I'm with them too. I do some stuff with them.
Wonderful.
Actually, a video that just launched today is cool. It's with Brantley Lott. I think he's the top 11-year-old, and he's with the Under Armour Junior Tour.
Do you know Steve Embry?
What's that?
Steve Embry?
I introduced them at the Masters.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So it's so fun. I think that's such a great thing. I think Jordan Spieth is now part of it now. I believe that was announced that Jordan Spieth is part of the Under Armour Junior Tour. And watching these kids, and I'm going to say this, today's golfers, the Scotties, the Brysons, the great golfers, and they brought a generation that Tiger generated. Tiger generated these kids.
Yeah.
Now Bryson's generating kids, and same with Scotty. And little do they know that they're going to be wiped off the planet shortly, because these 14-year-olds, these 14 and 15-year-olds, okay, take no prisoners in the game of golf. They're golfing 6 days a week, great etiquette, and they're starting with the tools that are better than when Scotty and when Bryson started with.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Now, I'm telling you, man, I think the age of major champions is going to come down. And I think it won't be long when we see a 19-year-old to 20-year-old win a major.
You know what? I say we bookmark that prediction, because I think when you're right, we'll get to look back at this moment and give you credit on that prediction.
Now that's a big, bold prediction, but I've seen these kids at 14 hitting it. And I can guarantee you, if Scotty Scheffler was standing on the tee and Maverick Mathune hit a golf ball, that he's looking.
Yeah.
He's going, are you kidding me? This kid's good, man. I mean, he's good. And it's not like it. And so and what you said about how they're so polite and so, it's different. This new golf generation's crazy. It's going to be fun.
So among the people that have been highlights along the way, you mentioned Brian Urlacher. Who are some other, fun folks that you've either got to meet, play with, whatever, who sticks out to you?
I was with, a couple of weeks ago, I was with Grant Horvat down at, we were at Greenville, and he played in it. And it was
He's so fun to watch golf, right?
What's that?
He's so fun to watch. So yeah.
Yeah. So Henry's there. They're on the green. Long story short, and we're chatting, and I'm there with a putter company, and we're hanging out. And the funny thing is Grant was using the broomstick, and I walked up to Henry because Henry was caddying for him for the week there at the BMW Corn Ferry in Greenville.
Yeah.
And I look at Henry and go, Henry, man, like, is he really using that thing? He goes, no, we're going to get him off that thing. We're going to get him off that thing. So no kidding, man. So we got him putting with the regular lab. Like, I think he's lab, right?
Yeah.
He's putting with the regular lab. And I think that was the moment, honestly, where Grant made the decision that it's over. Because I heard him say something like, yeah, we're going with this and we're going to stick with it.
Yeah. And then his very next video that he put out, I think the Tommy Fleetwood video, he was no longer with the broomstick and he was still with the lab putter head, but standard length. When
Henry looked at me and went like that, he goes, okay, now we're good. I don't mind being on his bag when he's putting with this. So, and not that the broomstick's bad. I don't think it fit what he was doing. He was struggling. So. But anyway.
Tips. For somebody who is using a caddy, what are some do's and don'ts as a golfer that you should know is like, I don't know, just some important notes to know if you're ever using a caddy while you're out playing?
Okay. That's a great question because, excuse me, a caddy, a real good caddy, is designed in one way to keep your head between the ditches.
Yeah.
As you go down and walk off the fairway, off the tee, that man or lady, whoever's caddying you, can keep you where you need to be in the game. That's what a caddy does. He keeps your clubs clean. He clean clubs, guys. Crazy stuff. And if you haven't seen it, I'm going to bring it out. I don't care. I'm doing it. Groove it. You gotta have
Groove It's the best, baby.
Clean clubs to anybody in the business. Groove it. You have to have clean clubs, guys. Water, dirt on the face. It's like playing pool. You've played pool.
Yes.
With the what
kind of throw was that?
What was that?
That's a bowler for you.
Too much sauce.
I was telling Josh, I was like, hey, throw me the Groove It brush. I want to show you that we're big fans and supporters.
There we go. We got dueling Groove It's here.
Yeah, he launched it into the TV.
You can actually have a water fight with this thing because it squirts, right?
Yeah.
But anyways.
And if you're really famished, you drink it.
Yeah. Actually, good way to get drinks into the. I like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, clean grooves, keeping their head in the fairway, and teaching them that not always does a a lot of the caddies that I meet around the country at country clubs, hey, they're not the best green readers, especially the young ones that haven't been around. But a caddy's not designed to read the greens for you all the time.
Yeah.
Basically, on the PGA Tour, they get called in. I have good friends of mine that caddy LPGA and PGA Tour and world class events, and myself over there's like, we don't get called in all the time. You see it. We get called in when it's needed.
Yeah.
Because most of these guys, like, do you think Bryson can putt? That's why he's there.
Yeah.
Scotty can putt. Okay, he doesn't need to be told every time what he's doing. A big thing for a caddy is to keep the head in the game, man. That 6 inches, again, it's the big oldest joke, the toughest 6 inches in golf is so true. Because if you get over a shot, you're not confident. The last word your caddy says sometime to you before you're hitting that iconic shot is something that will stick with you. And you'll notice them saying the same thing exactly there. It's just a routine.
Yeah.
And so that's what we try to build as a caddy, and as any country club caddy, and I've had a lot of them on my bag, and I've been on the bag that way. Man, just keep your buddy, just keep it there, right?
You know what's so
you gotta do
funny? You talk about the obviously, the space between the ears, which is the biggest battle for most golfers. And some of my, I've played with a handful of different caddies, but there's a couple that really stuck out to me over time. And what caused them to stick out to me was certain things they said that has stuck with me, that I still use in my current golf game, and just things or stuff I repeat to myself, or a confidence level that was given to me when they were there. And for me, in my mind, I was just like, man, that guy's such a cool vibe. He made me feel great. But hearing it sort of kind of like the insider sauce, knowing that really a good caddy, that's what he should be trying to do. Right. And so kind of the fun part for me and what I'm unraveling from that is I didn't realize that he was doing that sort of intentionally, but it sounds to me like he probably was. But for me, it felt just cool and in the moment, and really shifted my confidence, helped me step up and take a great swing, took the second guessing out and helped me just kind of land on a decision. Let's be confident, put a good swing on it. Go ahead. You've got this. You've been doing it all day. Just throw another one out there, and all those things that reinforce that confidence. So when you step over the ball, you're not taking a waggle with question marks. Instead, it's really just going through the process and getting ready to take a shot.
The funny thing when you say that is there's a guy and I would say he's the best caddy on the planet. I'm going to call it.
Wow.
The Caddy Whisperer, if you follow him, Caddy Whisperer at Pebble. And he's been there, I think 17, maybe more 20 years. I can't remember. This guy is incredible, man. He is so cool. Because if you look at caddies on the PGA Tour, you guys know this, right? They're the coolest cats out there.
Yeah.
You watch these guys, they're walking with the bag, they got the Valspar hat on, they got the Janny King or the Net Jets towel. They pull, hey, you know what? They're pulling that towel out for a reason. You know why they pull that towel out, Dan? Why do you think they pull that towel out?
I don't know. Tell me.
Okay, well, so most caddies and some caddies on the PGA Tour, what's the number one hat you see out there? Is the Valspar hat, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Well, they get paid by Valspar to wear that hat. They got deals just like anybody else. The player ain't just Hoka shoes, the Net Jets towel, the Jenny King towel, and there's a performance rated deal through the grapevine from what I've heard and from friends of mine that caddy. So there's a performance package put together by the company to when you pull that towel out, let's do it when I'm on TV.
Yes.
There's a deal there, because the caddy's always working with the camera crew, given the club, right? The 5, the 4, the 3, or whatever he's hitting, working with. So I think there's deals made on the side. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, get me on with my Janny King because they pay me on performance. Okay, let's get this done. Caddies are cool dudes, man, and I love them to death. They're the hardest working guys out there. The player's working hard, making his swings, but the caddy on a golf course, bar none. Think about their job then. Monday, they fly in, they're there for the Monday, and they go walk, they go get their things, they go get all their gear out of the caddy level, the lounge. Tuesday, Wednesday, practice rounds, usually a pro-am, you got to be on the bag. Thursday, Friday, if you make the cut, you're there Saturday, Sunday. These guys are relentless. The hardest job. on the PGA Tour is to be a caddy. Simple
Mm.
as that. Your player, you know, when he's in having a beer or something after or a drink or whatever the heck he's doing, that caddy's working hard getting stuff ready for the next day. It's crazy, especially if you got weather involved. Weather, I mean, it's crazy. So my hats and clap to the caddies of the PGA Tour that make it possible for us to watch these guys perform the way they did.
The unsung heroes. I mean, because really, you know, they're not called into the press conference, and you know, which somebody asked me that. They said, you know, they said, how come the caddies don't come in? And I said, here's the thing: it's a tough position because the caddy is never going to call out or say something negative about their player. You know, never. And so what are they going to do if you're going to be like, hey, so what happened back there on 10 when this and that in the water? Was he going to, what's there to say? Like, listen, he hit a bad shot. Like, what do you want me to do?
Well, he didn't listen to me.
Right. and so it's like, you know, to the public facing point of view for these caddies is all support. I'm not going to go say something behind your back. I'm not going to talk about a private conversation we had. And so it is, it's a tough position because I'm so curious to hear from them, but at the same time, it's probably quite limited as to what they could or should say publicly.
Yeah, like the caddy Gino with Joel Damon. So I was at an event in Canada. We had 3 caddies, kind of a sit down night at a great little club, out in Ontario. And we interviewed, and we had a caddy night, and it was questions to the caddies.
Yeah.
And one of the questions that came up was really cool. Was like, how many times do you actually get to make the call? And like, what's going down? Like, and I think I can't remember. Was it Corey Connor's caddy? Yeah, I think it was Corey Connor's caddy. And he goes, "Well, I might get 1 or 2 a week, you know, like something like that."
Yeah.
And Gino's there, and Gino's going like, you know, after the upswing thing, the whole deal. He goes, I got unlimited calls. Wow. And the other caddy sat and went, "You got unlimited calls?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got unlimited calls to keep Joel's head there." So it's kind of funny. So I think that's the player and caddy relationship.
Yeah.
You know, there's caddies that are great caddies that couldn't caddy for, say, Keegan Bradley. There's great caddies that couldn't caddy for Bryson DeChambeau.
Sure.
You know, they just don't. You have to have that. They melt, man. And
you even see guys like, you know, Max Homa and, you know, Colin Morikawa and these guys that are switching around caddies. And it's like, you understand, like on one hand, you know, it's like, hey, we had a killer run, but me as a player, I need to change up my world. I need to change how I'm being spoken to. But now it's like you're back in the dating pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the caddies are on a dating site. It's like Plenty of Caddies.
Yeah. Plenty of caddies on the green.
Who am I going to get this week, man?
Yeah. And then, you know, then you look at like Rory, you know, where he's been with his caddy for as long as I can remember. And yet, you know, you've got other guys that are rotating in and out multiple times throughout a season. But again, just like, you know, the old couple who's been married since longer than we've all been alive versus the people who are out at the bar picking up, you know, whoever's next.
And it's funny, the first
I've
time
never done this. Maybe, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the first time I ever saw any of your videos, like you're so instantly likable and you could tell you have the knowledge. I was like, I would love to have him walk up to me and say, if I could get you a par, I'll get you this bag. And it's like,
Jerry, I'm going to be honest. Gary will sometimes stand in a parking lot just hoping you're showing up.
I'm like, you know, where's this guy?
I've waited for you. I can't find you. I don't know where you're at.
We'll find each other.
I tell you what, I'm going to caddy for you and I'm going to give you the challenge. Let's do it.
I'm down.
We got to do it. Okay?
I would love to go.
I love it.
It'd be so much fun.
I'll be reporting live.
Jerry, I got a quick question for you. So you did the caddy experience at Oakmont. So how was that as far as challenging goes for you being on the bag for that, opposed to, you know, obviously we saw the greatest in the world struggle, but being on the bag for that, how does that work?
Oh man, that there. So what I did on the Sunday, you were there Sunday, weren't you, Dan? You were there. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that Sunday I got to Oakmont at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. And I wanted to go out and see the sticks and see the flags and see everything before the players went out and do my how I'm going to look at it if I was caddying on the bag, you know? And so I did that. And throughout those videos that I did, I walked 18 holes. I walked Oakmont before 9:30 in the morning. The whole deal. And you know what it's like at Oakmont. It was a little wet that day. It was a little, So anyways, the rough there, guys. What a great deal that was. These guys that are complaining that it was too tough, that was incredibly done grounds. I can't say enough about the grounds crew at Oakmont.
Yeah.
They need to do that once a year, and they need to make it tough. These guys are the best in the world, and I compare it to this. They've made the golf course tough. The flag positions were tough all week. Putting was a challenge for a lot of the players. They couldn't get the speed. I don't know how many putts I seen were short. Hundreds of putts I watched be short. Too scared. The caddy should have knocked his buddy on the shoulder and said, "Just go with these putts, man. What's the difference if you're 3 feet short, if you're 3 feet by? Let's go.
Yeah.
Make some putts.
Give it a chance."
And yeah, and that's the old thing in the game. If it's never there, you're not going to get in. But you got to be careful. But you don't have to be that careful. You're at the U.S. Open, man. You got one crack at it once a year. Go have some fun. And I don't think a lot of the players put that in their head. Let's go have some fun and go win this thing. I think that I think a lot of it was in their head and a lot of huge mistakes. I watched Justin Thomas in a bunker shot that I know he's played it a million times. And I think it was on 13 or 60. I can't remember the par 3. And I think it was 16. And he flopped it and it hit that bank on the side and got caught up in the hairy stuff. Now he's got himself into a mess. And 2 guys on that par 3 made 5s, and 1 guy made a 4 or 3. 2 guys made 5s, doubles, pros. It was beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Well,
so that answers the question. I'm not sure. I think that, that I think they should set courses up like that a little more. And my comparison, guys, make it quick.
Please.
A 30 handicapper that goes out and plays his weekend country club at whatever country club he's at, or private or public. He's playing those conditions all the time because 3 inches of rough to him is like death on a stick. And so he's playing it all the time. You guys get to play it once a week. You guys complain? Are you kidding? Come on, boys. I guarantee you this. If I was on the bag there, my player would have been in the top 10.
Ooh.
I can guarantee it.
Oh.
Guaranteed. I would have kept his head in it hard. I don't know if people, I really don't think that would have, I really do. I think I would have got a top 10.
Well, that would have been great.
Golf course.
I'm waiting for the intro video of it. I'm waiting for the intro video of Gerry Carry in the Oakmont parking lot, proposing to Caddy for one of these guys on a major weekend.
I love that.
I love great. That. So before I let you go, what do you got coming up? There's always tons going on. And of course,
you want to hear the list? This is crazy.
So right, go ahead.
Today, what is it, June 22? I don't even know what day. So I'm here back at home for a couple of days. Yesterday, I shot 2 videos. Last night. Tomorrow, I shoot 3 videos in a town north of here, about 100 miles north of here. And then Friday, I'm shooting a full thing with my daughter, with their team, with One Peak Creative. Saturday, I get ready. I'm heading to Calgary for an event in Calgary for 4 days. I fly to Pinehurst. I gave away a trip to Pinehurst for 4 guys. So I'm meeting them at Pinehurst for 4 days, but I'm there for a week because I'm doing some shoots there. I'll come back from that. I'm going to go to Cincinnati. I'm going to drive my motorhome over to Cincinnati, get some guys. I got to meet a guy in Boston, go to the Boston club. And then I'm off to New York and then back to Cincinnati. And then I'm jumping on a jet to Royal Portrush. And then I'll be there doing that, shooting some content in Ireland. And after that, I'm doing a deal in first week of August in Ireland with 3 creators and 3 people there with me. And then Eastlake, and then, probably home for a couple of days.
Just a couple, though. You don't want to get bored or anything.
That's my gig, man. That's what I do. And in between that, I got to shoot other videos for people in my videos. So there's the social media world.
Essentially, the rock and roll lifestyle tour doesn't end. It just takes like minor brief pauses.
I think I would have been a great dude with like what would be the all-time traveling band? You would know that. Come on.
The all-time traveling band?
It just went everywhere.
I mean, isn't it like Grateful Dead or something like that? Like, I don't know.
Be, right?
Yeah, it could
I would have
be.
been in that band.
Yeah.
I would have been in that band. And I would have kept the band together because I would have caddied them to say, hey, guys, we got to stay together, make some money. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we got to go over here and we're quitting. Every band broke up. Kind of, I guess, like caddies and players. Wow.
Well, that's it. Maybe the road crew didn't have the caddy mentality. You know what I mean? They weren't, you know, keeping these guys mentally between the ears on track.
Yeah. I just want to say, just before I get off, I love all the comments, all the fans. I love it when I go to PGA Tour events. I love it when you tap me on the shoulder. I will take the time to talk to you, and I will take the time to meet people. I love it. Golf's a big game, and it's a fun game, and it's got some great people in it. You know, there are some bad apples in the game of golf, just like any sport, and just don't associate yourselves with people like that. If you're on a golf course one day and you got somebody with a bad attitude that's out there throwing clubs and breaking them, just leave the golf course that day and you'll probably feel a little worse. And I'm going to put one more challenge out. If you're making a tee time for you and your buddies next week, say, for example, and you're going to go play some nice golf course, I want you to not show up with your golf clubs. And I really mean this. And I want you to go caddy for your best friend, because when you caddy once for your best friend and you walk 18 holes with him and you know his game and his personality better than anybody, you will have the time of your life. And you'll have way more fun than golf. And you'll have the time of your life. Do it. Try it. It's a blast.
Here's what I'll say.
He ditched me the one time I asked him.
100% accept your challenge, and we'll let Gary show up next time without his clubs and caddy for me.
I dare you, Gary.
Yeah.
I could be your guys' caddy.
I would love to caddy for Dan. I know all his everything.
I've had people try that, Dan.
Yeah.
I've actually had people call me back and they go, man, it was a blast.
That is so cool.
It is a blast.
Yeah.
It's a great time. And what a great job for a retired guy. Go to your club, go find a club and go caddy, man. You're going to have some fun. You're going to get some exercise. It's a blast.
Man. Well, I will tell you, that the caddy world to me is so interesting and fun and intriguing. And I love that, like you said, you know, there's plenty of people out there swinging a golf club on camera, but taking us into this world of caddying is so cool and so special within the viral golf space. And you're crushing it, man. You're so fun to watch. Absolutely. I mean, your channels are incredible. New YouTube video coming out here next week.
Couple weeks. I'm still doing a lot of editing. I'm trying to keep Brian's big body in the picture, you know. So
what's the YouTube channel? How do people find you?
It's just being set up now. So it's my first YouTube. So it's being set up as we speak. I will let them know.
You'll announce it on your Instagram and all that other stuff. How do they find you there?
It's going to be so fun. And I'm going to start doing things and interviews and fun on it, and giving the fans what they deserve in this social media golf world. Well, fun.
I will vouch. You said that, you know, whenever fans come up to you, you always take a moment. I will vouch. Like I said, I see Gerry at all kinds of events. We see each other all the time. I mean, we probably bumped into each other no less than 10 times. And he's always got somebody popping over, saying hi. He's doing the picture, taking a moment, sharing stories. So that is without a doubt true.
My fans mean a lot to me, man. And it's just like anything, right? So I think it's a big deal. Social media golf itself. It's a growing game, and guys like you, Dan, I want to say, like, you know, I love what you do, and you know, I think everybody does. So I just want to say thanks a lot. You give me a lot of this sometimes when I watch you on there, and you inspire me a lot.
Wow. Well, I appreciate that, man. Coming from one of the best in the game, that means a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, make some noise for the one and only Gerry Carry.
All right.
I'll be waiting for you in the parking lot.
Yeah,
thank you, Gerry.
Thank you so much, man. Well, I'll see you soon. I mean, because that's how it goes. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon.
All right.
Take care, man.
Dude, Gerry Carry is the man.
What a guy, right? What a guy.